Hello everyone, welcome to RSF1 Division 2. This is the second race of the week. It is our second 100% race, so it will be short qualifying, 18 minutes for the drivers to fight out for pole position, and then we will have a 44 lap race around Spa-Francorchamps. I am your commentator for tonight, RNSCO. I won't be having anyone join me as of yet, but hopefully someone joins. But if not, you're just stuck with me. So we've got cars out on track. I'm just gonna see something. Apparently there's no game audio, so we'll see how that goes. Right, I think Locker's the first one out on track actually. Yeah, he is. Okay, so we're meant to have four quali bands tonight. Looks like it's gonna be Camo, Diamond Duchy, um, Verizon 40, and Blazer Guns. So we will watch RSF Unlocker as he starts his first flying lap as he heads into the bus stop chicane and sets himself up to start his first flying lap as he heads down the main straight, opens up the DRS, will activate his DRS as he heads into La Sauce, downhill, and all the way down in towards Eau Rouge. Very drastic elevation change from downhill straight into uphill. The infamous corner of Eau Rouge, then Radion. We've got the Kemmel Straight opening up the second dose of DRS. Only got two doses of DRS around the longest track on the F1 calendar, so he heads through Lacombe chicane now. Seems to be taking it quite cautiously on this first lap, just to sort of get a banker lap in as he heads down in towards No Name Corner. Riding that inside curb as much as you can, making sure not to lose the rear end. Keeps it cautious through the left-hander. Now let's see how he takes pull on. Will he take it flat? No, there's a left, and he gets on the throttle really quickly as he exits pull on, as he heads up through this little small chicane. And he now navigates his way through Stavolo. Riding a lot of curb there, he had to back out a little bit just in case he found himself in the wall. Up towards Blanchimont now. Very fast corner, rides inside curb. Don't know why we've got many track map on, but anyway. As he navigates his way through the bus stop chicane once again. And up to the line, first time of the night for RSF Unlocker. It's going to be a 45.5 to kick us off. Next one across the line, I think, will be, it's Grunty, but he's on an outlap at the moment. Jenga slogan, putting in at 42.6. His teammate currently, well, it's not his teammate. We've got Grunty currently heading down through La Sauce on his first flying lap. Obviously a very quick driver in Division 2. As he heads along the Kemmel Straight into Lacombe. hugs the inside of No Name as we have Jonas setting the fastest time with 42.5. That was close. That was quickly matched by Dave, going 4 tenths quicker. Shane put in a 42.4. A few drivers starting to find a little bit more pace now. Stay on board with Grunty. Actually will jump to his teammate who is invalidated, so he will not finish that time. I think we've got it's on an out lap. So it's Grunty that's going to be next one to set a valid time. Up into bus stop, rides the inside curb. Very quick rotation of the car. Opens up the DRS as he crosses the line now, goes 5th fastest with a 42.6. We've got the Haas driver of Matty, currently heading through sector 3, about to finish his first flying lap. Very heavy braking into bus stop. As he navigates his way onto the main straight, and it will be for Matty. It's enough for P6 or 42.9. We have Breezy currently on a lap, heading up through Stavolo now. Hello, hello Horizon, how are we, mate? Breezy navigating his way through sector 3, we'll be coming up to a bus stop very soon. See, brakes at around about the 100-metre board. Tight chicane of bus stop. Now he puts down the floor, puts the floor. Hardly any RS left. Goes 3rd fastest with a 42.5. Horizon says I have a cool helmet for this race because of a certain event years ago. We'll watch out for that one. I think you've got a quali ban at the moment, don't you? So unfortunately we can't jump on board with you. So we'll certainly have a look at that when we get to the race. Crazy Fish is currently heading through Lacombe chicane at the moment. He heads down towards Poulon, reaching around about 190 mile an hour as he quickly finds the left-hander of Poulon. That must be so stressful in your neck when you're an actual F1 driver. As Hush goes fastest with a 42.3. Carrying speeds about 170 mile an hour through Poulon, which is pretty incredible. As he heads through sector 3 and along this sort of back straight with a few slight rotations up towards bus stop chicane. Very aggressive on the entry. Foot to the floor, into the line now for Crazy Fish. It's going to be 8th place with a 42.8. So we've still got 4 drivers yet to set a time, one being Cornish. And we've got Diggles who's currently just invalidated. Ice Boy went fastest with a 41.8. And then AM is on an outlap. So we've got 7 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. So enough, you'd say enough time for 2 more runs out of these drivers. Depends if they fuel enough for them. I'm going to turn up the game audio a wee bit because it's very quiet. Yeah, might be a bit louder. Got Diggles out on a lap. Oh, he's invalidated though, that's unfortunate. So you will have enough time to go again as it's a very slow moving AlphaTauri at the exit of Puon. We've got AM currently on a lap. Heading up to Lacombe. Hugging the inside curb, then exits a very, it's like sort of an S's at Lacombe. Downhill into No Name. Rides outside curb, then inside. Oh, and he's invalidated at the same spot that we just seen Diggles invalidate as well, which is unfortunate. We've got Cornish on an out lap. About to start his first flying lap of this session. Jonas about to put in his second time of the session, even though he's backed out and gone into the pit lane. Genghis Logan, I think, just finished a lap. He's 1.9 seconds down, so this will not be an improvement. One man that is on a lap though is Cornish. He's currently just started going up Eau Rouge onto Radion. Out onto the Camel Straight. A few Dutch flags actually I've just noticed in the grandstand. It's quite interesting. Heads through Lacombe. Oh, he's invalidated. Everyone's struggling with track limits around here tonight. It's very difficult on the tyres as Spa. He shouldn't be in too much danger though, should have enough time to put in another lap. We've got 4 minutes 40 seconds left. So I think most drivers will be in the pit lane now as they are. Getting ready for their final lap. So we've got cars coming in, cars coming out. It's all going off in the pit lane at the moment. Crazy Fish on an out lap. Currently sitting P9, is about a second, just under a second off of pole position, which is a 41.8. He's sitting at a 42.8. So we'll be hoping for some drastic time gained. AM who's invalidated again. I think either that he's already invalidated. I'm sure this is a different lap from AM, so the only driver, well not only driver, sorry, Cornish and Diggles both joining him and not setting times yet, so it's really going to be one run only for them, which puts them under immense pressure. Whilst we wait, your top 5 are separated by, we'll just get that up quickly. Your top 5 are separated by 6 tenths. Actually, all the way down to Grunty is separated by less than 8 tenths, which is quite impressive because obviously these drivers are going to have quite a bit of time to give, I believe, as we see one of those drivers I think that will have some time to give, Hush, starting his first flying lap of this last part of qualifying. I think he'll be the first one to set a lap as he heads down La Sauce. As we've got, is that Ferrari in front on a lap? No, he's not. So it's going to be Hush, the first one to set a lap, heading on to the Camel Straight now. See what mileage he brakes at. It was he had about 215 mile an hour going into Lacombe, so carrying a lot of speed on the straights as he heads through No Name. Oh, a bit of a snap as he exits. He's going to back out and hopefully have enough fuel to go again. So that's unfortunate. We'll jump on board with the man who was just behind him. It's Crazy Fish as he heads through Poulon. Almost taking it flat. Crazy Fish, known for having some pretty good results so far this season, is 4/10 up currently as he exits Sector 2, which would be enough to put him round about P4, P5, but we want to get as much time through bus stop as he can. Hugs the inside of the corner, now onto the left side. Foot to the floor. What's it going to be for Crazy Fish's final lap in qualifying? It's enough for P3 as it stands, but there are drivers improving behind him. One of them is currently Matty. He heads through Poulon, nearly taking it flat. There's a lot of congestion going on at turn 1 with drivers trying to build themselves a bit of a gap, but also getting a slipstream along the back straight. And we've got is that something happened at Lacombe? No, it's just Crazy Fish slowing down for these very quick drivers. We'll jump on board with Matty, who was heading up through bus stop, 5/10 up currently. This looks to be a good lap from the Scotsman. Goes to the line now to go P6. That is enough that he can do in qualifying. We've got cars on laps at the moment, one of which I believe is Cornish. And his teammate is just in front of him, of Hush, who invalidated his first attempt. Isn't improving through the middle sector. We'll have to find it all in bus stop, but Cornish will only set one lap this qualifying session. Grunty went P3. That's as much as he can do, so we'll be hoping that is enough to keep him on the second row. But there are drivers improving behind. I don't know if Hush managed to get any time through Sector 3, but we'll have to wait and see. But we're on board with Cornish at the moment, who's found his way through bus stop to the line now for the McLaren. Goes only P11 after only setting one lap, so wouldn't have been as confident as he might have wanted to, as Shane puts in a time valid enough for P8. Fantastic stuff from the Red Bull driver. Jenga Logan doesn't go faster, but Diggles does. Diggles puts himself at the top of the timing sheets. Am goes third fastest, so it's a 2-3 for the AlphaTauri team. Is there anyone else that's on a lap? Crazy Fish is currently very slow, so will not make it around in time. I think that's going to be it for qualifying. So Diggles at the last moment took pole position for the Belgian Grand Prix. That's fantastic stuff from the Alpine driver. Next on the grid will be Ice Boy and AM. So it's fantastic qualifying for the AlphaTauri team, putting them second and third. Then comes Dave, then Grunty, then we had Shane, Crazy Fish, Hush was in P8, I believe that was. Then Matty, Jengus, Logan, Breezy, Jonas, and I need to find the bottom 2. I'll quickly just put that up on the screen actually. Here we go. Cornish went P13, Lockup P14, Camel 15th, and then we've got our qualifying bands. Sorry, Camel was a qualifying ban of Camel, Diamond Duchy, 40, and Blazer Guns. So it's only a short qualifying tonight, but we're in for a long one because it is a 100% race. 44 laps for these drivers to try and endure. So we shall wait and see. I'm gonna go and grab a drink because my throat is killing me. But yeah, I'll be back in like a couple of minutes and we should be underway for the start of the Division 2 Belgian Grand Prix. We shouldn't be too long in getting underway. It's going to be a very interesting race as it is 44 laps. Personally, I've never done a 100% race, so it's going to be certainly interesting. I think it's really just going to be about sticking with it, keeping focused, because I'm sure a lot of drivers are going to lose focus and not be able to hang in there for 44 laps. So it's really just about finding a rhythm and knocking out the lap times as they come. Of course, we're probably going to see a few safety cars tonight. I was surprised at the little amount we saw last night, but we'll see how tonight goes. We'll run you down the grid actually. From the back we've got Blazer Guns starting P18, then comes 40. These 4 drivers at the back have to qualify in bands, so it's Diamond Duchy, Camel and Locker. Both Williams starting 14th and 15th. They'll be definitely wanting to make up some time. They've got Cornish, started P13, only did 1 run in that qualifying session, so might be a bit disappointed with that, but it's P13 nonetheless for the McLaren driver. Then we've got Jonas in P12, then comes Breezy in P11, you've got Genghis Logan in P10, Matty in P9, Hush qualifies P8, Crazy Fish qualifies P7, Shane qualifies P6, and we've got Grunty P5, we've got Dave P4. It's us all 2 and 3 for AlphaTauri, so fantastic result for them. But it was Diggles that took pole in the end, just at the end by almost 3/10. So yeah, I'm simply just giving out. I'm just ranting on to pass the time, if you know what I mean. Because I'm here for 2.5 hours on my own. By all means, come and join me. So you can rant on about whatever you want to rant on about. But anyway, we'll move on. We'll get it done. We're lining up on the grid now. It's quite a short pit straight, so very short. dash towards turn 1, so it's really about minimising as much wheel spin as possible. Go to the back of the grid, got Blazer Guns lining up to finish out the top 18 drivers that are racing tonight. So okay, if you want to join me, you can. I really don't mind, but just give me like a lap or two to focus on what's going to happen over the next 44 laps as we get ready for Division 2, and we are underway. It looks like Diggle's got a good start, but not as good as Iceboy, who's jumped him, and also has Am. It's going to be in towards turn 1. Both AlphaTauris got the better start over the Alpine, who comes back at Iceboy as they head down past La Sauce in towards Eau Rouge. Genghis Logan making up positions on Shane in the background as well, but it's currently Am who leads them from Diggles. Am started P3, but now Iceboy wants a fight as they head towards Lacombe. Diggles is not going to back out as well as he heads. He's going to try and go for the move. Oh, there's a bit of contact he has to take to the runoff area, but Am continues to lead them. That allows Dave to get through into P3. They head down the inside of No Name. Dave makes it through into P3. There's a bit of contact with him and Iceboy. This is going to allow Grunty to maybe have a chance of sneaking by as well. It's 6/10 the gap out in front between Am and Diggles at the moment, with Dave currently trying to fight for his life and holding P3 from Iceboy. Didn't realise the telemetry wasn't on. So helpful when they do that. Anyway, Am continues to lead them. We'll see how much ERS usually there is. We've got tyres up on the screen, so it looks like it's going to be a medium softs, or it's going to be a medium hards race. So we're definitely expecting at least 2 stops, if not 3, because we know how tyre wear is around Belgium. Genghis Logan makes the move on Crazy Fish as they head up towards the bus stop chicane for the first time. It's 8/10 the gap now out in front between Am and Diggles. Am had a fantastic start, making up the position on his teammate and on the pole sitter. Iceboy, you could say it's the complete opposite for the other AlphaTauri driver, losing out 2 positions off the start. Lost out to... It looked like he was going to actually take over Diggles as they head towards La Sauce, but it seems like Am just got an absolutely amazing start as Dave makes up the move into P2 on Diggles. Will Diggles have a response going into Lacombe? Is he going to stay behind him? Yes, he is. He's going to stay behind as they head through the second lap of 44. Blazer Guns is trying to fight his way through the pack. Makes it up to P16. Gap out in front now is 1.3 seconds between Am and Dave, so Dave will not get DRS once it opens at this point. Diggles is managing to hang on to the back of Dave at the moment though. Oh, we've got oh, is that a bit of contact? It looks like there's a collision. Yes, it is. It's Jonas. Jonas has fallen and plummeted right to the back of the pack after contact with... I'm not even sure which driver that would have been. So DRS is now enabled. Jonas has come into the pit lane for front wing damage. It's such a tight pit lane at Spa. So they head up Eau Rouge through Radion onto the Kemmel Straight. The gap is 1.2 seconds between Am and Dave, so a comfortable lead for Am, but Diggles manages to get ahead of Dave as they head towards Lacombe. So Diggles manages to re-inherit P2 from the Mercedes driver. There's a bit of jockeying for position for P4 between Iceboy and Grunty. So Iceboy now sits in P4, but Grunty's not going to give up without a fight as they head down towards Puon. Oh, there's more contact. I think is it Blazer Guns? Yes, it is. Blazer Guns has had a moment coming out of no name. We'll continue watching this fight though between Grunty and Iceboy, because it's been shaping up for the last few laps. Actually, we'll jump on board with Genghis Logan and Hush. This is going to form to be quite a decent battle. Both of these drivers starting on the hard compound. It doesn't seem to be bothering them too much. Will Genghis Logan look to make the move on Hush, heading up towards bus stop? He's certainly thinking about it. He's going to try to the outside of the McLaren. He's going to go then outside. No, he's not. He opts to stay behind. Or did Hush just brake a little bit later? We'll never know. But we move on to lap number 5. Diggles set the fastest lap of the race. He's still in his pursuit on Am at the moment. So this is lap 4 we're on. As they head down towards Eau Rouge. This is way closer on this lap. Through Eau Rouge and up the hill. He's going to have a fantastic slipstream all the way down to Lacombe. He's going to have the DRS. He should just sail past him here. Diggles is going to make it up into P1 before they even get to the chicane. So Am's going to have to settle behind him for now. But you'd think that this is going to be a tactics game of DRS. Oh, is he sliding all over the place as Diggles? Trying to keep on the track. I think tyre wear is already affecting these drivers. Absolutely outrageous tyre wear around Spa. Locker picks up a 3-second penalty. I think that might have been for track limits, I believe. 40 makes up the move on Matty for P15. We've got a bit of contact. I think that's Breezy. Or was that one of the Ferraris I think might have had an issue? He dropped 3 positions in the space of about 3 seconds. Doesn't seem to have any sort of damage. So I think he got away unscathed, but unfortunate for Breezy, who was running a solid race. I think either in the points or just outside them. We head on to lap number 5. It's going to be interesting to see when these drivers start to pit. I'm still in hot pursuit on Diggles as well, as they head through La Sauce. Bit of a bigger margin between these two drivers on this lap, so Diggles will maybe be safe, but we never know, because the slipstream is absolutely outrageous off of Eau Rouge all the way down to Lacombe. You can just see how much Diggles is gaining. Is he going to go to the inside? No, he's going to stay behind you. You saw that he backed out of the throttle even before they reached the braking point. I think he just wants to stay behind and allow Diggles to pull him along. He hasn't got much ERS to work with, or will certainly be wanting to save as much as he can throughout this race. But that's allowed Dave to get back into pursuit of these guys. But you can see only 11% ERS left for the Mercedes, so has had to use it to try and stick with these drivers. Oh, as Am has a moment coming out of the chicane. That's going to allow Dave to close in on him. Yeah, Legends and Issa, that's actually what I'm thinking. How can these drivers manage to do a 100% race? Well, so far, we're only 5 laps in, but it seems to be much cleaner between these drivers this week. Hopefully, especially for yourself, Easton, you guys don't have like 50 clips to watch. As we see Dave maybe go down the inside of Am for P2. It didn't look like it was going to work out. He managed to back out before they got to La Sauce and avoid any damage. Who was the driver that had the special helmet? Look back and check. It was Horizon, I believe. We'll jump aboard him quickly because I want to see this helmet. He's running a American-themed helmet. He's going to make the move actually, heading up towards Lacombe. Down the inside, makes the move before they make it to Lacombe. Horizon's up to P12. So we have Diamond Dushi and Shane having a fantastic battle heading through down towards pulling a little bit of contact. Who's going to be brave enough to break latest? It looks like it's going to be Shane on this case. So Diamond Dushi is going to have to back off just for now. Oh. We've got a virtual safety car. Oh, that's That's Ice Boy. I was reading the chat because I just seen Legends what he put in. Yeah, but we've got a virtual safety car. Ice Boy has found the barrier at, I think that's exit of the chicane heading up towards Stavolo. But yeah, Legends, as you were saying, it looks like wait, I'll go on to the American helmet to tribute, because obviously today is September 11th. I thought it was going to be since we're at Spa, it was going to be like an Antoine Hubert helmet or something like that, but no. Yeah, I completely forgot. Yeah, today being September the 11th, obviously representing America, has decided to come into the pit lane onto hard tyres under that virtual safety car. Hold on guys, I'm just going to get someone in here so that I'm not bored out of my nut. Just bear with me for a second guys, here we go. There we go, and we're gonna chuck an invite, and we're gonna chuck a game invite to get our special guest in here. And it seems that he has decided to join us. Mr. Soggy Salmon.
Good
Soggy, you there,
evening.
mate?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello. Can
There
you
we
hear me?
go. Yep, he can hear you. You in the game yet?
Yeah. Joining now.
Perfect. Well, thanks for joining me. Thought I was going to
No
be here
problem.
for
Anytime. Anytime.
44 laps on my own, watching Division 2, as Diggles manages to inherit P1, as we see... Who was that pitted? It was... Goes so quickly, I think it was Grunty, yeah. So Grunty has pitted onto... I believe it's... Wait, Grunty just pitted, but it still says 7 lap old mediums. He's on
Could have
another set of
been
mediums.
Verizon 40. He might have just pitted. He's just come out on a fresh set of hards.
Yeah. Grunty's just left the pit lane though. So I'm not too sure what that graphic says on the left, but I'm gonna assume they're new mediums. Oh, Diggle's gonna go down the inside of now he's gonna have the outside line, but makes a move cleanly on the Alpha Tauri. I didn't even realise Dave picked up a time penalty. How much time is that? It's a 3-second. Soggy, obviously we've got a 100% race in 2 days. How are you feeling about that?
All right. Done some good practice over the last couple of days. Just gonna focus on keeping it on the track and keeping penalties to a minimum, to be honest, because a lot of people are going to be picking up penalties just because of the pure duration of this race, and keeping concentration for an hour and a half straight is tough. So keeping penalties as low as possible will definitely be helpful towards the latter stages.
Yep. Absolutely. I wish I could say the same for the amount of practice I've got, but my broadband decided to go down at the perfect time, which has allowed me to have absolutely no practice. So I'm pretty much going to cram all my practice in tomorrow. And just like every other week, just nick your setup and run with it.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
I thought Diggles was going to get past Dave there as he headed towards Eau Rouge, but I think Diggles backed out just so that he could get the DRS on the main, not the main straight, sorry, the Camel straight. That allowed Am to hold on to the back of them as well. Hush with 3.6
Oh, Diggles has
seconds.
gone for the move.
Yeah, I've just noticed that on the inside of No Name. They head down the hill now. There's been a lot of position changes at the front at the start of this race. I think they're just all trying to, what's the word? Just carry each other like along, or like tow them with the DRS. Because it seems like a lot of these drivers haven't used much of their ERS at the moment. A few running at around about 30%, but no one's majorly, apart from, I believe that's Dave who's running at 30 in the top 3. None of them running at like below 10 at the moment.
Yeah,
So
them
move.
top three really look like they've got some serious pace, and Hush is just sitting in there nicely behind on the hard compound, so he will
Yeah,
look to come into this race later on.
certainly does look like that. He's got Crazy Fish not too far behind him as well. Dragging himself along down to Losos. You can see a move from Crazy Fish by the time we get to Lacombe.
Yeah, we've got a really tight pack here, all the way from 4th down to 10th, with all the drivers being within pretty much half a second of each other.
Ryzen picks up another penalty as Crazy Fish does manage to get past Hush, sorry, before they get to Lacombe. It seems like Hush is going to get eaten up at the moment as Am makes the move on Dave for P2.
Oh, I'm nearly just spun. Had a small contact with Diggles at the front.
Yeah,
Managed to keep it out the wall there.
I think a lot of them are struggling with tyre wear now, as it is such a big factor around this track. I was just saying before, I think Hush might be under a bit of pressure from all these drivers behind because he's just dragging them along, and one by one they're all just going to overtake him. But he's going to have the longer tyre life in the end, so hopefully it works out for him.
Yeah, Hush just needs to kind of hope for a nice little safety car or a VSC after all these medium runners pit, and that'll really bring him into this race.
I'm not too sure what the pit window is for medium tyres. It would be around about, I'd say now, to like lap 15. Because they really don't last
Yeah,
long.
I've not looked at the strategy myself, but I would guess that it would be kind of a lap 11, 12, 13, somewhere around there.
I'm surprised that the field hasn't spread out as much as it has. On these first lap. Oh, there was contact. I think Locker and
Yeah,
Horizon.
Locker's had a spin by the looks of it. As he picks up another 3-second penalty.
Oh, and he's all over the place.
Yeah, not sure if he's lost. No, his wing looks like it's intact, so Shane now also picked up a 3-second penalty for track limits.
Track limits is a big factor around here as well. Last night, it seemed like if you manage to get out without any penalties, as we're just on board with Am there as he picked up a 3-second. If you're able to get away with no penalties, you're in for a good result, it seems like. Oh, I think Diggle's hit the wall on the exit of Stavolo. He's still got his front wing, thankfully. So he should be okay for now. We'll see if Dave manages to catch any time on him as they head onto the main straight to start lap number 12, sorry. Surprised we haven't seen that many stops yet. Only stops we have seen are Verizon and Jonas, who picked up damage on, I believe, lap 1 or 2, I think it was. Massive DRS train forming as Diggles gets back ahead for P1. There's a caution in sector 1. It's for a car in the pit lane, I think. It's Locker retiring out of the race. So it's unfortunate for him. So many time penalties coming in.
Yeah, these top 3 all having penalties. Are you allowed to have more warnings for a time penalty in 100%? Because I've noticed that, according to the race director, Diggles has got 4 warnings but yet to have a penalty.
I'm
I'm
not
not sure.
Because in real life F1, I swear it's like warning, warning, warning. Yellow, like black and white flag and then penalty.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a factor in this race, but seems like this race is really going to come down to penalties as Hush comes into the pit lane for the first time in this race off the hard tyres. He's pitted before the medium runners, which is a bit questionable.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect that, but maybe he's just not quite feeling these hards as much as he enjoys the mediums, and maybe he just wants to extend both of his second and third medium stints out slightly longer. So we'll have to see how this plays into his hands.
Still, the gap out in front is only 5 tenths between Diggles and Am. Only so as Diggles
Diggles
went very all over the place. Dave's still hanging on to the back of them as well.
Yeah, these top 3 really look like they're starting to struggle for grip. We'll be expecting them all to come into the pits soon.
Could be quite dangerous as well because could be vulnerable to a safety car if one of them does have a snap or something.
Yeah, you've got to be careful in this Spa pit lane as well. It's so tight, and you don't want to be misjudging the braking zone. Yeah.
It's an absolute nightmare of a pit lane to enter. Muddy's saying that the undercut is really powerful around here. I wouldn't be surprised with the amount of tyre degradation.
Yeah, 100%. Does look like Hush has caught up to some drivers towards the back of the pack though, so that could hinder his chances of that undercut coming into his hands.
Crazy Fish in the pit lane now. First of the medium tyre runners to come into the pit lane.
Breezy also comes into the pits.
Let's have a look and see if this Ferrari pit stop is anything quicker than the real life ones. Seems to be a decent pit stop time for Breezy. Gets him back out into the race. It will slot him towards the back, but obviously on fresher tyres. as Diamonducci and Shane exchange positions heading on the Camel Straight. Diamonducci running very low on battery though, only 5%.
Yeah.
As we have a
Ooh.
caution, oh, it's for the other AlphaTauri of Am.
And we have a virtual safety car out.
Is that gonna turn into a full course?
Possibly.
Doesn't look like it. Oh, these drivers that have just pitted will be begging that the full safety car doesn't come out.
Very surprised that that is not a full safety car with the position of that car, but
Yeah, it's very strange with how this game runs.
we'll have to see if this VSE can stay out long enough for any drivers to gain any time from it under a pit stop.
I think no matter what, you've just got to pit on this lap really, because it seems like your best chance at the moment. I think Diggles might take this opportunity to come in unless this no, the VSC has ended now.
Green flag. So let's see who is going to choose to pit on lap 14. Diggles does not, he carries on in this race, as does Dave.
Dushy's in though.
Yeah, that would explain probably as to why he wanted to dump all of his battery on that last lap.
Obviously, me and you are very familiar with Diamond Dushy. Used to be in Division 3, now running in Division 2.
Definitely. Good to see he's
Finally
chucked a bit
got
of
some
sand out.
got some people that are his pace. Oh, Genghis Logan and Blazer Guns are going to have a drag race up towards Eau Rouge now. Is one going to back out? It's going to have to be Genghis Logan. Fantastic toe as he enters the Camel Straight though. Should re-inherit P9.
RSF1 chain all over the back of RSF1 Cornish here.
The two Aston Martins fighting for position down in P11. Well, it might have been a swap around maybe. Would explain it because Blazer Guns is on 14 lap old mediums compared to Crazy Fish's 1 lap old mediums.
Cornish picks up a 3-second penalty as well with the pressure that he is getting off Shane right now.
Hush is just, well, Muddy Biscuits has just mentioned something crazy. Hush is back up into P8. He's gotten past all that traffic from when he did pit.
Yeah, and he's got a lovely bit of open road ahead, 5 seconds to the car in front, so he can really be putting in some quick lap times. Our leader, Diggles, does pit. And it looks like he's putting on a set of softs, if my game is showing me that correctly.
Seems like it.
And a new wing, so did he pick up damage somewhere?
Oh,
I know that's definitely going to cost
it may have
him.
been.
Yeah, Hush has got out comfortably in front of Diggles. Diggles was dropped all the way back to P10 as it stands.
Camel makes up the move on Shane for P2. These drivers obviously still have to pit in this race though. Yeah, Murray, that was the one I was mentioning, how he hit the wall at Stavilo. Seemed like he gave it quite a good knock. Must have been like yellow front wing damage. Crazy Fish inherits P6. Crazy Fish having a pretty decent race, running P6 at the moment. Only 2 lap old mediums. It's quite an interesting call from Diggles though, because the softs really only last like up to 5 laps around here.
Yeah, definitely. But if he feels as though he can make a 2-stop work with the softs, then could gain him a bit of time. But when he's going to be catching up to people on the hards in front of him very soon. Just not sure if that's worth it when you're in traffic.
Yeah, he's going to have Genghis Logan to contend with in a couple of corners time, only 6/10 the gap between them. The field started to spread out now, so we will watch Diggles and Genghis Logan as they head on to lap 17. Seems like Diggles is going to get past Genghis Logan with pretty decent ease. Down towards
Yeah, you would
Oruge.
think.
As Shane gets the
Comfortably
move
done
back.
that.
Genghis Logan's not giving up though as they head towards Lacombe. Genghis Logan gets back ahead of Diggles. This is really going to be hampering Diggles' chance of getting P1 in this race. Genghis making that Alfa Romeo as wide as possible, but Diggles is going to dive down the inside at no name. Murray Biscuits has said that Diggles mentioned that he saved 2 sets of soft tyres, so he's trying a medium soft strategy. I'll be
Wow,
interested
that
to
is
see if
very
that works.
aggressive. Yeah, if you can make that work.
Well, he's just managed to get past not only Genghis Logan but Verizon as well. And is only, I believe, 2.1 seconds off of Crazy Fish at the moment. As Grunty and Hush have a battle into bus stop. Hush managing to get out ahead. This has worked out absolutely fantastically for Hush. He's running in P4. Technically, he's going to inherit the lead when these drivers do end up pitting. We've seen Matty and Genghis Logan both having a battle. As Camel makes it back up on Shane as they head through Lacombe, so easy enough move for the Williams driver. Now he's got to try and close that gap to Dave, which is currently 5.8 seconds. So Dave, even though he does have, I believe it's 3-second penalty at the moment, yeah it is. Top 3 running with 3-second penalties at the moment, but Camel has got to make up almost 6 seconds to Dave, who's kind of just checked out of this race at this point. Does have
I'm
to still pit.
surprised how many laps these front guys are doing on these medium tyres. It'd be interesting to see if they try and even push themselves to doing a one-stop strategy. Because we
Absolutely.
are nearly at the halfway point at this race.
Yeah, those tires have got to be on like what, say like 70% by now, maybe even higher. It's quite
Yeah,
interesting to see
definitely
that.
some serious one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite interesting to see that Dave's running the Max Verstappen helmet and running out in P1 at the moment as he starts his 18th lap on these tires. Crazy Fish and Grunty having a battle. Oh no, sorry, not. It was Grunty coming into the pit lane. Diggles picks up fastest lap on those soft tyres as well.
Push is really slamming this gap down on these front guys now, and he is now within the DRS zone as we go down the Camel Straight.
It's going to help as well that they're fighting as well.
Yeah, definitely. These should be 2 relatively easy moves for Hush if he can just avoid the fighting.
Oh, really close to the back of Camel. Basically
Ooh,
pushing him.
almost touches in there.
Well, you can just see that Hush is running so much more downforce. than Camel, because he's just gaining so much time as they went through pull, and he had to back out the throttle just to make sure he didn't tap him in the rear.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with Camo's tyres, he definitely won't be able to take much throttle through Puon, or he'll be off the track with the amount of wear he's probably got on them.
Cool, we see Hush making the move up into bus stop, or is he going to just stay behind them and see when they're going to pit, because it's got to be soon. They've stayed out for another lap. Let's see what Shane does. Shane and Camel both stayed out. Safety car!
Hush pits.
Oh, that is a stinker.
Don't know what that safety car's from.
That's a stinker for Dave and Shane. And Camel. Yeah, I can't find what that is for.
Neither. Blazer looks like he's dropped very far back, but I can't even see any damage on his car.
Hush is onto another set of mediums. They can... I don't know, will they take it to the end? 22 laps is quite a lot to ask. Legends actually pointed out a really good point here. Other drivers will have a delta. They managed to get out in front of the safety car, so they'll be able to hopefully get into the pit lane, back out, and still remain in the top 3. At the moment, Soggy, as we're standing, who do you think the top 3 is going to be?
I'd probably go Hush, Diggles, P2, and probably between Crazy Fish and Grunty for the final pit. Probably Crazy Fish. I reckon he can take them hard compounds to the end, but all depends on the safety cars, obviously, as well.
We'll see how this shapes up, as these guys have got to pit out in front. It's an absolute no-brainer, as Dave is basically drifting through the final corner.
Yeah, I think
no grip left.
I think we'll see all these front 3 here pit for a set of hards. We'll be surprised if it's anything different.
It's a set of white striped tyres for the Mercedes. What's it going to be for the Red Bull? It's softs for the Red Bull.
Very interesting call there from Shane.
What's the Williams going to do? Looks like it's going to be a new set of soft tyres as well.
Interesting.
So another stop.
Very interesting. Yeah, looks like them 3 are probably going to go for one more stop onto and probably another fresh set of softs if they have them, and go for an aggressive push to the end.
Hush runs P2 as well.
Dave has actually managed to maintain the lead still.
Yeah,
even
he definitely
with
did.
that.
He had like a 6-second lead, I think, over P2 before the safety car came out. Does anyone actually know what the safety car was for? Because we haven't got a clue.
I didn't see anyone coming into the pits with damage, so I seen Blazerguns was very far back, but I'm not sure if that's just where he was on track or if he had a spin. But
there was no other retirements as well, was there? Or was it Jonas? I thought he had already retired. It's going to be interesting because we've got 3 drivers and P3, 4 and 5 on softs at the moment, so they'll definitely have to be coming back into the pit lane at some point. as the safety car will depart the pack and head into the pit lane. Question is, when does Dave decide to release? It's quite a short dash down towards turn 1, so you think that he might leave it quite late. Safety car goes into the pit lane. So now Dave brings the pack through bus stop and has
Dave looks like he
released.
has got the jump on him. Already 7 temps.
Seems like everyone has maintained their position as they head towards turn 1. No one's
Yeah,
really
Blazergun's
within. God.
pits.
Grunty's the
Not
closest
sure.
car to another driver at the moment. See a move in towards Lacombe on the Williams. No, it's going to be Shane that makes up the move on Hush, but that was as expected because they're running the soft tyres, but are going to have to pit again. Grunty made up the move on Camel, heading out of Lacombe.
Shane's going to probably look to break away from Grunty and Camo, who are rivaling him on the same strategy here.
Absolutely, he's got to try and maximise that soft tyre run if he wants to make another stop possible. So we are now at the halfway stage of this race. If this was a normal RSF1 race, we'd have finished by now. But because admin are so nice, they've given us even longer tonight with a 100% race. So another 22 laps of this race as Shane picks up fastest lap.
That will be seeing too many moves for the time being because obviously DRS still not enabled for another lap. So all drivers are just towing along each other at the minute.
I think we can see Matty making up a move on Breezy though. Heading down the Kemmel straight, got a fantastic launch off of Eau Rouge. Stays behind into Lacombe. Yeah, not a lot of moves being made at the moment. Blazerguns picks up his first 3 second of the race.
Interestingly, Dave is still holding a nice 1.2 second gap there to Shane at the front at the minute on the hard compound tyres.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Shane's making up too much ground on Dave at the moment.
Shane is really dumping all of his battery right now though to try and get within the DRS zone.
Same with
of
Dave as well. Dave's hardly got any battery left as well. He's really burning it.
Shane sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:45.2 and he is now within DRS, so will we see a move at the end of the Kemmel Straight from Shane? Looks like he might be a bit far away for this lap, but he'll certainly close up.
Hush is a little bit closer and has got battery as well. So Slipstream, DRS, not going to use ERS though. Quite a wise move from Hush, is allowing him to bring himself
Cornish
back.
going for the
within
moves on
3
Crazy
tenths.
Fish. Gets it done comfortably before the corner.
got a fantastic battle between Verizon and Matty. Diamond Dushi had to be very close in, making sure he didn't make contact. He's going to try and look down the inside into No Name. He makes up the move into P11. Diggles, who has been leading the race for quite some time, finds himself down in P6, trying to get past Camel.
Hush sitting very comfortably on battery compared to Shane and Dave at the front, who are both on about 5% each.
Yeah, I don't think Hush is really thinking about overtakes at the moment. I think he's probably just thinking about running like his own race and pretending like the front two don't exist. Because he knows that they're definitely burning down their battery, because he can see the flashing light of the Mercedes 2 cars ahead, and he knows that Shane's going to have to pit at some point again.
Looks like Hush is going to get the move here on Shane.
Ooh.
He's got so much more battery. Pulls out.
Very easy move from Hush.
Yeah, comfortably done. Now he'll probably look to attack Dave while Dave is very low on battery at the minute, as Dave picks up another 3-second time penalty there.
That puts him now up to 6 for his total today.
Diamond Douchey there, another lap and another move just before No Name.
Seems like Hush is gaining some time on Dave, but it seems like Dave is much quicker through Sector 3. Diggles picks up a 3-second though. You can just tell where Dave's trying to use every part of his ERS.
Yeah, I think Dave could be running a much higher downforce setup than Hush, because the amount of time that Hush was gaining down that back straight there. So it should be an easy move.
Honestly, I think Dave needs to let Hush go past, and Dave needs to build up that ERS again, because his biggest battle right now is technically with Diggles, knowing that Shane, Grunty and Camel are most likely going to be stopping again. So Dave needs to take this opportunity to sort of not worry about Hush, because Hush is going to have a race of his own at the moment. Makes the move before Lacombe. We didn't see much of a fight.
Flag.
I think it's
Blazerguns, that is in the pit lane.
So as I was saying, Hush makes up the move on Dave. Not much of a battle between them. Dave needs to use this time to recharge that ERS.
I think Dave got a horrible lock up there.
Very wide.
He just needs to try and stick within the... If he can stick within the DRS zone of Hush, that'll help him out a lot.
Oh, side by side between Diamond Douchey and Breezy. As he head towards Puon. They're still side by side. Diamond Douchey goes off a bit but takes the position.
It's a great move from Douchey there, holding it in through the corner.
Fantastic battle for P9 at the moment. I thought maybe tonight I was going to be sitting here and not worrying, because everyone was going to be like 3 seconds apart. But it doesn't seem that way. Grunty is quite close to the back of Shane now. Prismix just said, isn't No Name corner called Jackie X corner now? I think it is actually, but it's always been really known as No Name. So that's just what I refer to it as, because it's just what I'm used to. But yeah, if you want to be The proper name is a Jackie X corner. Grunty's going to make the move on Shane inside. There's wheel banging. Grunty's not going to give up though. He makes the move into P3. Fantastic racing between Grunty and Shane. Has Dave listened to us and kept his ERS? No, he hasn't. He's still burning it. Dave's really not doing himself any favours at the moment. His nearest rival, Diggles, is currently only a couple of tenths behind him as well. I think it's about a second actually, a second and a half between Dave and Diggles at the moment. As we have Camel coming into the pit lane. Only lasted 7 laps on those softs. I wish we had a little graph to see what the tyre wear was like on these drivers, because I feel like Grunty's going to be running in the 70s, maybe even the 80s at the moment on 9-lap old softs. Diamond Douchey made up the move on Crazy Fish for P7. It's a massive DRS train currently. Currently led by Diggles. Oh, sorry, Cornish. And it runs all the way back down to nearly Matty, who's 1.1 seconds behind. But Jenga Logan rounds out the DRS train at the moment. We've got only a couple of drivers without penalties. One of which is Hush, who's currently leading the race. Others include Grunty, Diamond Douche, Crazy Fish, Breezy, and then Jenga Logan as well. So we'll check penalties. There's 6 seconds for Dave, 6 seconds for Shane, 6 seconds for Camel. And on 3 seconds we have Diggles, Cornish, Verizon and Matty.
Dave has managed to stay within the DRS zone of Hush, so that is definitely helping him, but he's still not managed to charge up that battery much at all. So he's clearly having to use all of that battery just to stick with the McLaren. Shane looks like he gets the move on Grunty.
Oh, and Dave nearly lost the rear end. That would have been a heart and mouth moment for the Mercedes, as he had a twitch coming out of, I think it was the chicane. I don't even know what that chicane's called actually. Anyway, they head through Blanchimont. And it looks like that Dave's gonna maybe make the move on Hush, heading at a bus stop. He certainly just opts to stay behind. But we'll have a run on him heading down towards turn 1. But we have Shane coming into the pit lane off of those softs. Grunty continues on. That'll be interesting to see whether Shane does get the jump on Grunty. He pits onto a set of mediums. It looks like a slow stop for the Red Bull, but I think that was just a game glitch. Diggles is all over the back of Grunty now. Diggles is going to soar past Grunty as Dave managed to get past Hush before they reached Lacombe. Diamond Douche has lost position to Cornish. Grunty will certainly be feeling the wear of those softs now.
Yeah, them softs will start to be like on an ice rink soon. We've got a
Cautions,
yellow
we've
flag
got
in
yellows.
sector 2.
It's Breezy. Breezy's around. Has managed to keep it on track, but has no front wing. Well, it does have a front wing actually, sorry. Don't know why it came up with no front wing for me. Loses the position to Shane. We've got another caution. It's for the
Grunty
other. It's the other
DNF.
Ferrari. That brings out a
And
full
we've got a
safety car.
full safety car.
Oh my. That's. Oh, I was about to say that was gonna do wonders for Grunty, but it's him that retired. Anyway, who's that gonna benefit? You'd have to think that would Hush come in?
Yeah, I think he
14
would.
laps. Hush.
Dave might come in as well.
One of the fronts has to come in. Yeah, Dave comes in. Hush
Yeah,
comes in.
I think we're going to see most drivers pit here.
Diggles comes in. Could this ruin Cornish? Because we're going to have to do a double stack down at McLaren. Oh, he stays out.
Ooh, interesting
Ooh,
from Cornish there.
Did he try and fake Crazy Fish into going in? I don't know. It might have been a bit naughty from Cornish there.
Interestingly, Dave has gone for a set of mediums and Hush has gone for a set of softs.
That's going to be interesting. Cornish disqualified from the session for ignoring yellow flags.
Wow.
He just parked up on the side of the track. Oh well, we did see him cutting turn, well not turn one, but like he went very wide at the first corner.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that had
So
anything
would you
to
say
do
that's
with...
karma?
Possibly. I mean, the game might have thought that he was going to pit, but
Don't know why we've not
I'm
got
not
any
sure. He went
game
horribly
video now.
deep.
Soggy, you there, mate?
Yeah, I'm there.
Try that.
Hello.
Right. For some reason, my headset volume just decided to turn itself down. Yeah, that's an interesting one for Cornish. Because I don't even know how that happened. It must have been due to some sort of glitch with him. Maybe he was deciding to pit, but then he decided to stay out.
Yeah, definitely something linked towards him possibly pitting, or I'm not sure if he maybe overtook the safety car or something.
Well, Crazy Fish now leads them, but is on 11 lap old hards. Only driver on hards. He's come into the pit lane. Dave re-inherits P1. He's got two soft tyre runners behind him of Diggles and Hush. Diggles and Hush are both going to have to take these tyres. It'll be 12 laps, and by the time the safety car comes in, which is
Interesting
possible.
time to pit there though for Crazy Fish. I'm surprised he didn't pit earlier, but He's going to have softs with less wear on than everyone else, and they will be dropping off extreme amounts towards the latter stages of this race.
It will be interesting. I think time penalties are going to be a big factor in this as well. Diamond Dushi not out of the mix yet. Currently no penalties. Soft tyres as well. Safety car should be in at the end of this lap, I believe. Because all the drivers have caught up now. So it's going to be Dave once again that takes him through Sector 3. Do you reckon he's going to release at the same point, or is he going to maybe release a bit earlier? We only have medium and soft runners now. It's sort of 50-50. So it's 5 people on the mediums, 6 people on the softs. So safety car is into the pit lane, moves away from the pack. Dave controls the pace. Oh, as I get cramp in my leg. Dave's doing a lot of weaving trying to get tyre temperatures. Hush is sort of doing an old Max Verstappen move. Creeping up beside Dave as they head through bus stop onto lap number 33. Dave still hasn't gone, he goes now. It's a better start from Hush, but he's got Diggles right beside him who's going to try and take him into the first corner. Diggles into Lasov.
Can you get the switch back? Not quite.
To head up towards Eau Rouge. It's going to be a game of slipstream, really.
Yeah,
all the
definitely.
way down Camel Straight.
Diamond Dushi very close to the back of Camo here.
Moves the inside. Diamond Dushi on Camel as they head towards Lacombe. A bit of wheel bagging.
And again.
Very clean restart though. But Diggles is still hanging on to the back of Dave. He really needs to clear him in order to try and break the 1 second gap to Hush. I think Diggles really needs to use Dave as some sort of car shield so that he can kind of make up as much time as possible to keep the lead.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Hush does have no penalties either.
This Diggle's going to look at him down into the bus stop chicane. Pulls out. Late on the brakes. A great move. He's got so much more grip on them soft cam
Oh! Camo and Verizon got very close. Camo nearly lost the rear end because both wheels interlocked. Matty's going to go down the inside into turn 1. Or we could go 3 wide towards Lacombe here between Camo, Verizon and Matty. As Diggles does get past Dave for P1. We'll see how quickly Hush manages to clear this Mercedes. There was a few laps in the making for Diggles, but now he's really just got to try and build as much of a gap as possible. Camel picks up a 3-second penalty. As I was saying earlier, Diamond Dushy's not out of this. He's hanging on to the back of Hush just by a couple of tenths to stay within DRS. Sets the fastest lap in the process as well. I reckon Diamond Dushy could be on the podium at the end of this. Hush is much closer to the back of Dave now. A little bit twitchy. Could he get 2 for the price of 1? He's gotten Diggles back. Dave manages to get back into the lead, but he doesn't manage to get him into the com. This is a fantastic battle for the race lead. Diamond Dushy wants to get involved in this as well, because he knows he hasn't got any penalties and is in a fantastic position to score a podium, if not the race lead. The race win, I must say. Diggles is really burning all of that ERS. Hush running at 40%. Dave has built up a little bit more, now runs 25%. Will Hush look to make a move down the inside? Stays behind. Got Breezy on the back of Camel as well, down in P8 at the moment. Oh, as Hush goes a little bit wide. The door was open for Diggles for a moment, but opts to stay behind. I think he knows that he's going to get the slipstream and the DRS on the Camel straight. Runs a lot of curb through Eau Rouge though. Loses quite a bit of time. He might be vulnerable to Diamond Dushy. Hush is going to give it everything to try and get past Dave. It's not close enough though. Dave is flashing once again. Hasn't got much ERS left. Hush is running on 40% at the moment.
Hamo looks like he's just lost 2 places on the Camel Straight to both Breezy and Genghis Logan.
It's not been a great day for the Williams drivers. Hopefully
Certainly
Camel
not.
can secure a single point for them so they can walk away with at least something.
Camo does have a time penalty there, and Crazy Fish just half a second behind, so it doesn't look that way at the minute.
It seems like these top 4 have kind of checked out into their own race.
Yeah, definitely. It's just going to be a matter of how long these soft runners can hold on to, because their mediums will definitely be coming into Dave's hands if within a few laps. But obviously Dave has got, I think, 6 seconds worth of time penalties.
As you said, Crazy Fish has managed to get past Camel as well. Diggles is right on the back of Hush. Has hardly any ERS left though. Hush needs to make the move soon on Dave, because he's going to be vulnerable to Diggles.
Dave really low on battery here.
Diamond Dushy's out of ERS and DRS now.
I think Hush might be able to make a move here. Dave has got less than 5%.
He's going to go to the outside. Is Diggles going to make a move as well? No, he's too far back. Hush re-inherits P1. But at this point, I think the soft tyres are going to start wearing off. This could come into Dave's favour.
Yeah, definitely. Don't write off Diamond Douchey though here, who's currently also in a net P2 with time penalties added.
Dave picks up a 3
Dave picks up
second.
another 3 second.
That's him on 9 total today, I think.
Yeah, I think that's going to cost him a podium.
Diamond Douchey's in a great position. He's got drivers behind him with penalties, drivers in front of him with penalties. So he's really in a good position to pick up at least a podium, probably P2 at best. Because Hush is having a fantastic race at the moment. Diamond Douchey's just on the cusp of DRS. He's only 2/10 out of it. But with this fighting between Diggles, Dave and Hush, he should come back into it very soon. He's still having to use all of his ERS to try and just stay within the frame of these top 3 drivers. But Dave can look for a move on Hush, heading down towards the Lacombe chicane. Gets past with ease. Diggles is still too far back on this lap to make any sort of move.
Muddy Biscuit, for your information, Hush has 1 warning and Diamond Douchey has 2.
Give a bit of screen time to the sort of back of the pack. We've got a fantastic battle between Breezy, Jengus Logan, Matty and Crazy Fish. Jengus Logan makes a move up on Breezy. Matty and Crazy Fish are going to go side by side through Puon. Fantastic racing for P8 at the moment. Got Camo as well wanting to join in on a bit of this as well. See it, maybe Breezy making up the move on Jengus Logan in towards bus stop. We're yet to see a dive bomb into bus stop. Hopefully this is it on this lap from Breezy. He's gonna go the long way around the outside maybe. He stays behind him. So it's Jengus Logan that retains P7 as they head on to lap 39 out of 44. Hush is 4 seconds behind Dave at the moment. Sorry, not 4 seconds, 4/10. It now comes down to just under 1/10 nearly. It's going to be easy work for Hush to get past Dave once again on this lap.
Yeah, Dave looks like he's really struggling up through Eau Rouge and Radion. Hush is gaining so much time every single lap.
He's got no battery as well either. Now it could be the same said for Diggles, both running around about under 20%. Hush is at 38 sorry, so he's got a bit to give still.
Top 3 really starting to break away here. Diamond Douchey's now dropped back to 2.5 seconds. So it'll be interesting to see if he can maintain that gap with Diggles having a 3-second time penalty.
As long as he keeps within 9 seconds of Dave, he's on for a podium. But Dave's all over the back of Hush as they head towards bus stop.
Yeah, if I was Hush here, I'd just be holding off. If he wants the place, then he needs to try and do it on the Kemmel straight with the DRS.
We'll see what happens on this run up towards the Lecombe chicane. It looks like if you're the driver behind, you're going to have a fantastic slipstream all the way up Eau Rouge onto the Camel Straight, as we've seen with Dave. He manages to get past Hush again on this lap. Diggles has managed to close the gap to 3 tenths. They're under 2 tenths to Hush.
Both Red Bulls here sitting in P5 and P6 next to each other, so it's good points for them. It'll be interesting to see if them pair fight or if they've got some team orders going on.
It seems like they're going to have to get a move on as well, because they both carry time penalties. It would switch them around, it looks like, so they wouldn't lose out on any points, but Genghis Logan is slowly bringing down that gap to try and snatch P6. So Hush will be the driver behind Dave on this lap. It seems like it's just a swap every single lap between these two on the Camel Straight. This time it's going to be Hush. Oh, he got close to the back of Dave, almost contact. Hush is back into the lead. I'm sure in a minute and 40 seconds time or so we'll be saying the same, but it'll be Dave back into the lead. We'll go back down to Crazy Fish and Breezy, who are currently heading through Lecombe, having a bit of a battle.
Diggles picks up a 3-second penalty there.
That is
But that definitely
crucial.
looks like Diamond Douchey there should secure P2 if he can keep this keep without a penalty in the remaining 3 laps of this race.
This might allow Verizon as well to pick up a P4. Maybe even his teammate picking up a P5. Dave doesn't make the move into bus stop. It seems like all the moves are being made on the Camel Straight, because it's just so easy with the slipstream and the DRS. Only 3 laps remain in this race. As I said
looks
before,
like he's going for the move on Hush.
gonna have
And
Dave.
Diggles
take
is coming
P1.
as well. Diggles lets off there. Big let off from Diggles. Didn't look like he wanted to risk putting a nose up the inside.
It must feel like those soft tyres are just ice skates at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. They will definitely be feeling like he's got more grip at the minute over the runners behind him on the softs. Hush has been extremely efficient with that battery all race though. Always been having more than the drivers around him that he's been fighting.
He's
That's
not really
allowed him
had to use
just-
it either.
No, yeah, definitely.
can see they're definitely having to change their racing line now because of the tyre wear factor. Onto the penultimate lap of this race. It seems like Hush is a little bit further back from Dave on this run on the Kemmel Straight. Picking up a fantastic slipstream as well. Big let off from Hush. Oh, and Dave was very much out of position on the com. It seems like both drivers are struggling, even though Dave's on the mediums. Diggles has closed a massive, not a massive gap, but it's only it was around about under 2/10 for pull-on between Hush and Diggles. I don't think this battle's really gonna matter because Hush is gonna be in front of Diggles by the time the checkered flag comes, no matter what. The question is, can Diamond Dushi keep his gap to inherit P2? How much penalties is Diggles on? 6 seconds at the moment.
Diggles on 6, yeah. It's currently looking like a Hush 1, Diggles 2, Douchey 3, I think.
No, I think it's Hush 1, Douchey 2, Diggles 3, I think. I believe, is it? Or it's going to be so close between Diggles and Verizon.
Douchey P2.
It's actually going to be really close between Verizon and Diggles. As Hush makes up the move on Dave, and it looks like that might be all she wrote for these front three. So now Hush really just has to get it back to the checkered flag. But it's going to be interesting. Oh, wait. I've just realised Verizon 40 has a time penalty, so I don't think anything's going to change there.
He is only 6 seconds off Dave, though, and he has 6 seconds less penalties than Dave, so that is very close.
Only a few more corners to navigate for these drivers. Hush goes through Stavolo for the final time tonight.
Yeah, the flag.
Oh, there's contact. There's a contact. No,
Looks like it's
Shane.
RSF1. Shane is off.
Shane's around. That is unfortunate for the Red Bull, but we're on board with the leader of the race, who's going to take the checkered flag. And for the first time in Division 2 in a 100% race, Hush wins it in Belgium after such a long race between him. Diggles picks up P2. It's going to be Diamond Dushi that takes it from him. So it's Hush, Diamond Dushi and Diggles that are your top three. Dave settles for P4. Then we have Verizon 40 P5, Crazy Fish P6, then came Breezy, Jenga Logan, Matty, Camo, and unfortunately Shane had a moment on the final lap through Stavolo, which meant that he had to walk away without any points, unfortunately. But it does mean that Camo picks up his points. So, as me and you being Williams drivers, we will take that.
Yeah, all day. 1 point, one on Camo.
One point more than I'll probably score, but anyway, we'll see. It's going to be such a long race on Wednesday. I need to get some practice in for that, but anyway, we'll focus on tonight. It's Hush that wins it from Diamond Dushi. Then comes Diggles, Dave, Verizon. Then we had Crazy Fish, Breezy, Jenga Slogan, Matty, Camo, Shane, just missing out on points after that devastating moment at Stavlo. And the DNFs tonight came from Grunty, Blazer Guns, Jonas, AM, Locker, Iceboy, and Cornus was disqualified. What a silly man. Anyway. Right. We'll get on with these driver interviews. We're going to get a full house tonight of driver interviews. Or was... Right. Okay, looks like we're only going to get 2 drivers in the night. Right. Soggy, do you want to take it away with our P2 for tonight? Sorry, our P...
Yeah,
is
can
it
do.
P2? P3?
P3,
No,
P3.
P3 Diggles.
P3, right. We'll start with Diggles. Soggy, you can take it away, mate.
Yeah, so Diggles, you managed to secure yourself P1 on the grid, but unfortunately dropping back to P3 in the race. Talk us about how things unfolded for you tonight.
Yeah, I sort of went with a setup that was lent towards qualifying, knowing that I'd be slightly down on straight line speed in the race and hoping for the best. But picked up a couple of in-game penalties, so at the end there I didn't really bother going for the moves. I just knew Hutch would win it, and obviously Dave in front had more penalties, so I just played the game there. But ultimately, the goal today was just finishing inside the top 10 because I've been carrying a penalty for a little while now. So as much as I am sat here on the podium, it is unfortunately P11 tonight, but we take it. It's got rid of the penalty finally, and I was glad to show my pace finally for the first time this season.
Yeah, excellent to see. Next week we've got Portugal. How are you feeling for that track?
Used to enjoy it. I haven't drove it for a little while, but I will put the hours in, and hopefully, all being well, we'll come back next week and get the same similar result without the penalty.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we'll see you back in the party next week on the podium again.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Congratulations on the P3.
Cheers, buddy.
We will move on to our winner for tonight. Hush, can you hear me, mate?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Was a very interesting race from yourself. You didn't qualify in the top 5, I believe. Was it P8 for yourself?
Yes.
Remember that? Yeah, P8 in qualifying. Played a fantastic strategy throughout the race. That first stint, you started on the hard tyres, I believe. You pitted before the rest of the medium tyre runners. Was that sort of strategy, or did you feel like the tyres just weren't working as well as you might have thought they would have?
It was a bit of both. Just before I pitted, the traffic was just so slow, so I made a decision. Box and mediums. I came out, managed to get ahead of the traffic in the first lap, and then bolted away. Gained back up, then a safety car came out, so I believe it was the right strategy call in the end because people were just too slow on the warm mediums.
Yeah, it certainly seems like it. I've got to ask, what was the tyre percentage looking like on that final lap? Because you had taken those soft tyres around about 13 laps in the end.
50%.
It's not bad actually.
They
Considering
felt horrible.
as a Spa, yeah, I could have assumed that. But yeah, a fantastic race from yourself tonight. Managed to keep it well in order. It seemed like every single lap you and Dave were just switching positions on the Camel straight. And then Diggles obviously having a little bit of a chance in overtaking you as well. But all out really good performance from yourself tonight. As Soggy said, we do go to Portugal next week. How do you feel about that one?
I haven't touched on this game, so it'll be interesting, but I'm just trying to do my own season, obviously. I'm 50 points behind the championship, so I'm not really looking towards it right now. Just enjoying these races because, probably stop racing when the season ends.
Yeah, well, obviously, congratulations on the victory tonight, and hopefully this is a sign of more things to come for yourself.
Hopefully. Driving standards might be the other thing.
It seemed a bit better tonight, but that will all come out in the steward's report, I'm sure.
It is interesting that we managed to do a 100% race, probably cleaner than we've done nearly any 50% race this year.
Yeah, it certainly did seem like it. Anyway, congratulations to our top 3 tonight. Obviously, Diamond Dushi wasn't able to do an interview tonight, so if you're watching Diamond, congratulations on your P2 in the end. That'll be it for us on RSF1 tonight. We will join you tomorrow night for Division 5 and 100% race around Belgium. It's been me, Aaron SEO, as your main com tonight. We had a little bit of a special guest appearance from my teammate in Division 3, Soggy Salmon, so thank you very much for joining me tonight.
No problem. Been a pleasure.
And we will catch you guys same time tomorrow night for more action around Spa. Catch you later.